Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the virtual Talladega Super Speedway for tonight's running of the first race of the Season 3 of the Dega Pros Little Guys Series. Yes, that's right. This series is back. It is better than ever. We got a big field in the lobby tonight, ready to get it going for you all tonight. My name is Dawson Wise. You're joining me live here on the Hickory Racing Network, picking you up a few minutes after schedule, about 11:28 here on the East Coast as qualifying is underway. It's good to see everybody back. I am glad to be back, and it's going to be a great season. Let me tell you, I am so excited for this season. I love this series. The series has become a great part of my Monday night. I hope it's a great part of your Monday night as well. And as we get ready to put these guys under the green flag, we're going to bring you all the action. It is 50 laps here tonight. That's right. We've doubled the distance here for the weekly Monday night race, and the format is much the same. The top three from each race that are not in the championship race will advance into our final 15 championship race at the end of the season, just like last season. Here is the catch this season, though. Once you have advanced into that final race, you are then ineligible for the remainder of the races of the rest of this season. So we will have 3 new people every single week advance into that final race. 3 tonight will lock up their spot, and they will not have to race again for another 5 weeks starting here tonight. So with that catch in mind, let's get down to business. 7 minutes to go. Coming off of season number 2, Josh McCullough, the defending Little Guys Series champion, and obviously Michael Triscaro, our season 1 champion, who will join them as a Little Guys Series champion. We're going to find out over the next several weeks, 6 weeks to be exact. I'm so glad everybody is here tonight on the Hickory Racing Network. Share the link. Get that link out. If you know a driver in here, if you know someone that knows a driver in here, get that link out. We're going to have all 50 laps here for you in just a moment. I imagine we'll be advancing onto the grid here any moment now to be about another minute and a half or 2 minutes. Share the link, and we are going to get down to business here in just a quick moment. We've got drivers carrying driver cams for you. We'll get to them a little bit later. I believe 6 of them have driver cameras on for us tonight. Some onboard cameras for tonight's event, and it is 6 drivers with driver cams. We'll get to those drivers once we're on the grid. But for now, about 29, I believe, have made the trip here off the hauler, have unloaded here at Talladega, and are ready to go for another season of Little Guys Racing presented by John Ward here on late Monday nights. We're starting a little bit later than usual, like I said, but these guys, nonetheless, they are geared up. They are ready. They are excited. I got to talk to some of them right before we got in here tonight, and I'm telling you what, they are geared up on a level I have not seen in this series, and we've run 12 total races in this series across the 2 seasons. Tonight we start season number 3, and so tonight these guys are more geared up than ever, especially those that have not won a championship, those that have come close. Guys like Dustin Carruthers, who has won in this series multiple times, has yet to take home the big crowd. Guys like David Sheets, guys like Trevor Osbornoff. Many guys in this field have won in this series and have yet to capture the biggest prize of them all, and that is the championship. They hope to do so this season. In fact, several in this field raced in that championship race last season. Ryan Baste is in this race. Heath Job, Austin Green, Richard Elliott, all guys that took part in that final 15 race last season, several weeks ago before the Christmas holiday. And if you watched the Little Guys Christmas Bash as well, what a race that was. And a race, what an event that turned out to be, the 266-mile race we had over the Christmas holiday. What an event that was to call. What an event that was to be there for. And certainly set the stage nicely for this season of Little Guys Racing. 4:40 on the clock. We'll see if we use the entire 10 minutes. I don't think we will. I believe series owner John Ward may advance us onto the grid, in which case we will get right down to it with our starting grid. Do want to thank John Ward for this series. Want to thank him for another opportunity for me to get up here and ramble to you guys about racing for a couple hours here on a Monday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy as much as I do. Might be joined by a couple special guests later. It depends on who is where. Tonight it might just be me flying solo. We might have 1 or 2 people along the way, along the ride for you here tonight on a Monday night. 4 minutes ago, David Sheets, Ryan Baste, Thomas Parker, Sean Corbett, Trevor Oswanoth. How about some familiar names at the top of the board? Names that have yet to capture that big prize like I talked about, and want to do so tonight with a 50-lap race. A pit stop will come into play here tonight over the course of the first green flag run. We expect to see at least one pit stop tonight over the course of the race. We do expect for that to be the case. It is 50% fuel, so in fact, we're going to see more than one pit stop. In fact, we may see close to three. We may see three. A 50% fuel runs about 14 to 16 laps. In that case, we're going to be pitting 3 times under green if it goes wire to wire. So look for that to occur here later on in the night. Payouts really quickly before we get on the grid. We'll get to that first. 50 to first, 40 to second, 30 to third, and also along with that, $50 going in the end of series pot, that big championship pot, and also you get paid out, you're going to the championship race as well. So the top 3 in each of our 5 regular season races will advance to our championship race at the end of the season. 2:50 to go here in the qualifying session. Several guys just now making their runs, getting onto the grid here as we get ready to put them under the green flag for the first time in Season 3 of the Little Guys Series. What a fun time this is going to be. Certainly a chance to spotlight some drivers that a lot of them by now have gotten their spotlight on Tuesday nights, Thursday nights across FEG, PGR, RMR as well. But tonight we spotlight only them. There are some talented boys in this group. There are some fast trucks getting ready to get on the grid here at the Talladega Super Speedway, and we will get all of that starting grid to you here in just a quick moment. 2 minutes to go in our qualifying session. One last time, share the link out right now. We are about to go green for Season 3 of the Dega Pros Little Guys Series. Get that link out. Tell everybody you know that we're about to go racing in John Ward's Dega Pros Little Guys Series. Tell everyone there are some great drivers that are about to take to the grid, about to take to the racetrack for 50 laps of action here tonight. 29 have arrived at the track. 21 have logged a qualifying time. In fact, it may be more than 29 now. It is an even 30. 30 trucks have made the trip. 3 out of this group will make their way to that final race here over the course of the next 50 laps. Who will be the first ones to set the tone? A tone-setting race for sure. You want to start your season off the right way. In fact, you can kick your feet up on the desk and be done for a few weeks. If you were to finish inside the top 3 tonight, your work is done for the next pretty much month worth of races. You just get to watch these guys from the sidelines. Your job is over until that championship race. What an interesting format it's going to be this season for sure. As we get ready for the first green flag of season number 3. 60 seconds and we're putting them on the grid. You are joining me live here on the Hickory Racing Network. The Dega Pros Little Guys Series about to get underway for season number 3. Michael Triscara was our Season 1 champion. Josh McCullough was our Season 2 champion. Who will get the job done here in Season 3? Looking in the chat real quick before we get going tonight. John Darnell, I believe that's who that is. Big man, the 99 Ghost Rider and PGR drivers. Good to see you, brother. Good luck tonight in the race. He will be one of the drivers in the field, I believe, in the 99. Wyatt Knox, ready to go. Wyatt, good to see you. Good to see you here. Good to have you in the chat tonight. And Robert Miller, as always, root for the McCullough Motorsports boys. There are still several in the field tonight. We'll see what they can do as well as we get set to go here for race number 1. 8 seconds to go. We're putting them on the grid. We are ready to go, and I hope you are too. It's time to get them on the grid for the first time in the Little Guys Series here in season number 3. The timer runs out. Qualifying done, over with. We are headed to the grid, and it is time to go here on the Hickory Racing Network, here live. Starting grid from Talladega. On the pole with a time of 55.524. It is the 1 of David Sheets. To his outside, it'll be the 73 of Ryan Baste for KSR. Thomas Parker of KSR rolls from row number 2. To his outside in 4th, it'll be the 45 of Sean Corbett. Row 3, it'll be Trevor Osbornoff for KSR and Zach Range in the 043. Row 4, Justin Mills in the 4 and Steve Sizemore in the 13. Rounding out the top 10 will be Harrison Whitehead and Larry McDonald in the 80. Starting 11th to be Heath Jobe for Hyper Motorsports in the 760. To his outside the McCullough Motorsports entry of Ron Morris Jr. Dustin Carruthers rolls from 13th for the KSR boys, and Mark Vondell from McCullough Motorsports rolls from 14th. Dallas Knox rolls from the inside of row number 8 with Logan York to his outside, running the 48 truck tonight. Christian Martinez starts from the 17th position. To his outside, it will be the PGR driver John Darnell. Rounding out the top 20 will be Chris Night Eye, I think I've got that right this time. And Raymond Hanneman will round out the top 20. Cole Fitzpatrick starts from 21st. Joey Galati starts from the 22nd position. It'll be Richard Elliott in 23rd, as John Ward not going to take to the grid tonight, only up in the race control tower. And starting 24th, it'll be Austin Green, the Green Ghost. Michael Clay will start from 25th. Brock Westmoreland from 26th. Tyler Vickery starts from 27th. Jack Hignite from 28th. And rounding out the field shotgun tonight, 29th, it'll be Matthew Patton. We are ready to get it underway. I'm glad you have joined me tonight. An extra long edition of the Dega Pros Little Guys series is set to get underway, set to get on the racetrack. I cannot wait. I have been excited for this for a while, been waiting for the first Monday that we will be able to get back onto the racetrack, get these guys back out there, and get to see what they can do. And tonight is that night. We'll go through your drivers with driver cams here tonight very quickly for you. And we start with a man rolling from the 5th position, Trevor Oswernoth in the 89. Apparently we don't roll with that. Let's see if we can get that going here. See if we can get that rolling for you here. There we go. There he is. There's the driver of the 89, Trevor Oswernoth. Rolling off from the 5th position tonight in the 89. After that, we got Zach Range in the 043. Running the Formula Wheel on the oval. That's certainly an interesting choice, but all props to Zach Range. After that, we got John Darnell rolling back here from the 16th position. There he is. He's ready to go, ready to gear up and get rolling. After him, starting right behind him, that's Raymond Hanneman. He's carrying a driver camera for us as well. After them, we got Sean Corbett starting up here near the front of the field. He's got a whole setup cam going tonight. The triples at the overhead monitor. Good look at his perspective of tonight's race. And finally, Tyler Vickery, starting here near the back end of the field. He will roll tonight from the 28th position. It is time to go green. You've waited for this for a long time. I have waited for this for a long time. The pace car makes its way to the pit lane. And into the restart zone they come for the first time. David Sheets, Ryan Baste on the front row. They will bring us into the restart zone for the first time this season. It's time to go. Green flag is in the air. The Little Guys Series is back for season number 3. Lap 1 led by David Sheets and Ryan Baste, Sean Corbett, Justin Mills, Harrison Whitehead, Zach Range, all inside the top 6. Everybody nice and tidy, 2 wide, like gridlock traffic here at about 190 miles an hour. In fact, probably rolling a bit faster than that. We'll take a look at the speed, actually. Let's see what they're rolling off turn number 4. I know the other day we ran a league race at the Talladega Super Speedway, and we were going nearly 200 miles an hour off into turn number 1, which for this speedway was intense. We've never run that fast. These guys sticking right around that high 180s number. Nonetheless, the speed's still very high. Everybody's still nice and calm. Nobody really going for anything too major quite yet. Ryan Bass, David Sheets continue to lead the way as they come onto the Alabama gang super stretch. Bass pulls back out to another lead. Sean Corbett, Zach Range doing an excellent job keeping the middle, but Justin Mills, how about the work he's doing on the bottom side, keeping the bottom even. Third line starts to roll. Now they fade back in line. That was Westmoreland, Austin Green, a couple other trucks as well, perhaps John Darnell. Sheets back to the lead here in 3 and 4. And off turn 4, he looks high. I don't think he wanted to go there. Now he gets split. Where do they go? Bass gets sent out all the way to the wall. Where do they go here? They start to scramble just a little bit. Range fades back in line. Now the 13 of Steve Sizemore going to try to pick up Ryan Bass up on the outside line as they split David Sheets. I don't think Sheets went up by his own accord. I think Justin Mills, a little bit of an encouraging shove there. Tell him, get on out of the way. I need to cool off just a little bit. But nonetheless, we keep it going. Ryan Bass now a couple cars behind him, but they're going to fade back in line. Justin Mills now leads the field. That bright white and blue number 4 machine, the Ford F-150. Now here comes David Sheets. He's got Corbett with him. Now Range dives out of line. He goes to the wall. Nowhere to go here, coming back down. He's going to go to the back. Heath Job said no, sir, and stuck him out of line. Cole Fitzpatrick trying to pick him back up. Now somebody gets caught in the middle there. Can't tell which truck exactly that was. I believe that was the 76 of Ron Morris Jr. Now Range and Fitzpatrick take a shot here. They're going to take the first crack at the third line. Zach Range in the 043. Going to try his hand. There's a look at him wheeling it up on the outside line. There he is, and the caution flag has flown for the first time here tonight. It involves Dustin Carruthers and Raymond Hanneman. Ryan Bass involved as well in the 73. So we'll see what happened here to Ryan Bass as the yellow flag has come out here for the first time on lap number 50. And it started back here. Oh, I think it's going to start right up here in front of these guys. Looks to be right around Mark Von Dell. Can't tell who that other truck is, though. And we catch it right in the beginning of it already. They come together. Believe that might be... That is the 48 of Logan York. Ryan Bass gets into him. Joey Galati is in it as well. Raymond Hanneman goes for a slide there. Another one of the drivers with the driver camera on for us here tonight. Thomas Parker tries to slide by. Ryan Bass actually gets hit again. I can't tell which truck that is either. That black and orange truck might be Michael Clay. It's not Michael Clay. Trying to figure out who that truck is that got in that wreck behind these guys. Thought it might have been Tyler Vickery. It was not Tyler Vickery either. Matthew Patton slides out of the way. So we'll take another look at this here. And it starts up near Mark Von Dell and Logan York. So we'll take a look here from York. Let's see what starts this. Oh, a little move 3 wide here on the front stretch. You're going to see York take a shot at 3 wide here on Von Dell. See, the lane is there. You see Ron Morris jump to the middle. And as soon as Ron jumps to the middle in front of Von Dell, Logan York sees that gap and goes to take it. They're actually going to almost end up 4 wide here. You see York, plenty of room, able to get between the 59 and that bottom line. That's John Darnell and Raymond Hanneman. And as they go in the corner, York, oh, maybe panics just a little bit as they try to come up off the apron and gets a piece of Mark Von Dell, and they come together. York ends up turned here on the bumper of Hanneman. Von Dell goes for a slide. I believe he saves it in the grass. Bass gets hit from behind by that truck, who I still cannot for the life of me tell what number truck that is. York goes for a slide. There's Hanneman. Here comes Carruthers. He actually gets by. Tyler Vickery, I believe, does as well. Or does he? York hangs a left. He collects Carruthers. Parker's into the outside wall. So there you go. We'll try to take one more look at this here. Trying to find a decent camera angle for this. And that's Galati, actually, in the black and orange truck that I was trying to figure out who it was. That's who that is. He collects Ryan Baste in a big way. They get up into the outside wall. We'll take a look at the second part of this wreck as well. As Baste and Galati come together. In fact, I believe they're going to come together again here at the exit of the corner. Now, some more contact there between those two. Baste goes for another slide. So a crash here on the opening stint of the race. 5 laps in, collects several of the trucks that started at the front of this race. A pit cycle has led Harrison Whitehead to the lead for the first time tonight under our first caution of the evening. Good audience here for a late night Monday night for the Little Guys series. As we pace lap 7, turning over to lap 8 as they flash by Barney the flagman there in the flag stand. And so we will re-rack. Lights are out atop the pace truck, and we will get them back going here shortly on lap number 9. 42 laps remain here in race 1 of the Little Guys series. Some more viewers in chat. Next up, calling for a Larry McDonald victory tonight. He currently runs in the 10th position. So we'll see what Larry McDonald can get done in the 80 machine. He's, I believe, rocking the hyper colors tonight, the red, white, and blue. At least it looks like it to me. Let's see. We better look at this truck here. Yeah, he is. Hyper Motorsports colors, a new look for Larry McDonald this week. Right behind his teammate Heath Job. We'll see what Larry can do here on the race start when we get back going. Reliant, rooting for Zach Range. He runs in the 4th position outside row number 2. Lisa Darnell rooting for John Darnell in the 99. He currently runs the tail end of the top 15 in 15th position. Oh, we got Baker in the chat. At least I believe that's Baker. And Baker, I'll send it to you. He can jump in here with me. We might have our first special guest of the season coming in here. So good to see him in the chat. Blair Henley rooting for, I believe, Harrison Whitehead leaving the race. And Casey Phillips, how to join money races. Get in Discords. Get connections. Join hosted lobbies that are hosted by John Ward. He hosts them all day. And ask him, ask myself. Just kind of get involved, get plugged in. Green flag going to come back out here on lap number 9. As we get back to racing in the race 1 of the Little Guy Series, Justin Mills. A heck of a restart. He jumps down across Harrison Whitehead. And we are back underway on lap number 9. Onto the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Mills down across the bottom. That means Zach Range now leads the top in front of the 27 of Christian Martinez. Good to see him out here tonight. Don't mind me, I'm trying to set stuff up in case we do have a special guest join us up here in the broadcast booth. I believe we're going to be having one shortly. And we look forward to that here in just a moment. Zach Range pokes the nose out front of the 043 Silverado here for the first time tonight. With the help of the 27 of Martinez. Another guy who was fired up to race tonight, I can tell you right now. He was ready to go, ready to get down to business, and ready to compete. So we'll see what he can do as well over the course of the race. Range, Martinez still working the top side. Mills and Whitehead working the bottom. The Hyper Motorsports teammates of Job and McDonald. Third and fourth up in the outside line. Dallas Knox, Ron Morris, Larry McDonald, Sean Corbett, Steve Sizemore all lurking here in the back half of the top 10. Lap 10 is on the board here at Talladega. We know pit stops will become an issue if we do begin to run in a long green flag run. This is a similar format to the one we had Thursday night in the PGR Thursday night series race over on the Ghost Racing Network. 50 laps, 45% fuel, and we did see a green flag pit stop in that race, and a hectic one at that. You'll want to go watch that highlight for sure. Go check out that, at least that highlight from that race. Well, it was a great race altogether. And in fact, John Ward was crowned 2023 PGR champion in that race, the series owner here of the Little Guys Series. So huge props to our race controller tonight, our series owner, John Ward, for that big victory on Thursday night. Now he turns right around and all kinds of momentum leading into this Little Guys Series event that has led to great racing. It really has been incredible racing for both seasons that I have been up here. And tonight, so far, has not disappointed. Zach Range, Justin Mills continue to battle for the lead. Lap 12 is about to go on the board. It does right here. Still side by side for the race lead. Everybody still 2x2, being nice and gentle and tidy so far. Trying to keep it calm. They know the pit stops are coming. They lurk on the horizon, and they know it's a long race. Normally in a Little Guys Series race, we'd be halfway done by now. I'd be calling we're 2 laps from halfway. Tonight, we're only a quarter of the way into this one, a considerably longer event. Third lane opens up. Brock Westmoreland not going anywhere so far. He's going to tuck back in line in the second lane. Through the trial one more time. We'll stack up there behind David Sheets. The 99 of Dallas Knox. Trouble! Further back, it's the 85 of Raymond Hanneman. He and John Darnell have gone for a slide. Trevor Oswernoth is involved. And that's going to bring out our second caution flag of the night on lap number 13. We'll take a look at it. Started right back here. You actually probably caught the beginning of it on your live feed here. Because on the left side of your screen, Raymond Hanneman running right in front of Logan York. You see Fitzpatrick has to bail out due to the stack up in front of him, the fire out of the pipes as he's checking up. You can see the line stack up. Hanneman's going to get in the back of the truck in front of him. I believe that's... I cannot actually tell which truck that is. That's the 13 of Steve Sizemore. Hanneman, unfortunately, has to hang a left after he gets in the back. He gets collected by Logan York. They collect John Darnell and slide to the bottom of the racetrack. Luckily, not much damage on either of those machines, just an innocent slide. Then Trevor Oswernoth decides to do some drifting. Take another look at this one. Try to find a little bit better angle here to show you the stack up. Here we go, this one right here. So you see Fitzpatrick, the bottom line stacks up. Fitzpatrick jumps up. You see the fire out of the pipes of all of these trucks as they get on the brakes. Hanneman's on the brakes. Logan York doesn't quite get the memo. Clips the back end of Hanneman right there, just enough to slide him sideways. And they collect John Darnell, and that's a tough break for Darnell. He was just running innocently there, about 7th on the bottom. Luckily for these two, you'll see it right here. They lock it down and keep it off the inside safer barrier. And are able to get it back rolling. We'll take one more look at it. So you can see the stack up that happened right behind. Excuse me, right in front of this incident. Happened on the bottom. Right up around Dallas Knox and David Sheets. You see it stacking up already. Fitzpatrick bails out. And unfortunately for Sizemore and Hanneman, they got to get in the brakes. And as soon as they get in the brakes, Logan York nowhere to go. As he's tucked on the back of Raymond Hanneman. And right there, he collects the 85, and they collect John Darnell. An innocent slide to the bottom, and that puts us under our second caution of the night here on lap number 14. Pit stops underway, and while they do that, I'll bring in the special guest for the evening, my partner up here in the broadcast booth, Matthew Baker. Baker, How you doing? What are you looking forward to seeing in this race?
What's up, man? I was just watching the beginning of the race. Saw not many teammates out here on the lower end for this race, and I just wanted to come out here and support these guys and watch the guys that we race with every week and see who's got a shot to do it solo. You got a bunch of KSR teammates. That's about the biggest team you got out here, so I just want to see how these solo guys do against them.
Well, certainly, and the solo guys putting up a pretty good fight so far. We see guys like Zach Range, Christian Martinez, guys up here that are running pretty much solo. Dallas Knox putting up a great fight so far as well, the 99. And the teams do run the place, but so far, we haven't seen many team wins. We've seen Dustin Carruthers win a considerable amount of races here, but that's been about it. But besides that, not a huge team presence like you'd see on other nights. So you got to change your perspective a little bit. I know you're used to being up here with Austin, watching the big dogs, if you will, run on Thursday nights, and certainly a loaded field we had last Thursday night. You got to kind of change your perspective now to some guys that maybe don't get as much of the spotlight, if you will, in those big races. And, you know, what does this kind of opportunity mean for those guys, at least in your perspective, when it comes to, you know, getting away from those Thursday night races and getting their own stage to spotlight their talents?
You know, not just spotlighting their talents, but it gives them a chance to work together with other people that are towards that mid-pack of the field whenever you get to those big races. And they can really trust driving around each other whenever they're in like 10th to 20th, and they're able to take it to that third lane, able to take it to that fourth lane if need be, and it really just improves the racing overall. So I really like what John Ward's been putting together here, and it's, you know, a couple trucks that I like to highlight here. Zach Range and Logan York, you see those two trucks get up front, watch out, they're going to get the win for tonight for sure.
Well, Zach Range certainly due for one. Logan York due for one as well. Logan York been starting to heat up a little bit. He's been at the front of these things late. Tonight would be a perfect opportunity for him to get to victory lane and lock himself into the championship race at the end of the season. 35 to go. We'll rack them back up for you. Zach Range will be the race leader here on this restart with Justin Mills to his outside. Christian Martinez, David Sheets on row number 2. Harrison Whitehead, Heath Job on row 3. Sean Corbett, Ron Morris on row 4. Larry McDonald and Dallas Knox on row number 5 as we get ready to go back under the green flag. Certainly not a messy start to this one. A couple small incidents, but no green flag pit stops yet. We do expect to still see one. 50% fuel in the tanks tonight. A 50-lap race. 50% being about 14 to 16 laps or so on a run, at least based on the times we've done a half fuel load in these kinds of races. The longer race and the less fuel means these guys have to completely change their strategy. What was a 27-lap sprint becomes a 50-lap endurance race with multiple pit stops. In fact, from here, still probably 2 pit stops to go to this point. And like I was saying earlier, Baker, before you got up here, it's similar to what we had on Thursday night when we saw a green flag cycle that I don't know if we'll repeat it tonight, but certainly it's got to be on the minds of the guys that were in that field.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. A lot of reactions out on Twitter from those guys, posted it out there, and it almost went viral. I mean, the iRacing community hadn't seen a pit stop like that in a long time, so you're not going to get that magnitude because, you know, we don't have 60 trucks out here tonight, but still, these are the same guys that can put it on and off pit road very easily.
Well, absolutely they are. So many of them run on those other nights and have gotten used to pitting quickly, getting on pit road quickly, getting in their box quickly, getting out quickly. It's a thing we have not had to really talk about in this series, but certainly guys like Range, Sheets, Mills, Job, Corbett, Morris, and others, they know how to do it. They know how to get around it. It's going to give them advantage here tonight. Coming back to the green flag, pace truck is down to be lap 17. 34 laps remain here in race number 1 of the Little Guys series. And here we go into the tri-oval one more time. Zach Range, Justin Mills have the field in hand, waiting on the green flag. The long crawl to the end of the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing from Talladega. Up through the gears they go towards turn 1. Range and Mills help coming to him. Here comes Martinez, and here comes David Sheets up top.
Good even start side by side. 3x3 there, really. The top 6 kind of pulling away from everyone. Sean Corbett pushing in. Race control calling for them to run some laps, get calmed down, get settled down, but you know this series is anything but tame. The person that I think is the most tame out here, Austin Green, he takes his time, he's methodical to get through the field, but with this kind of competition up front here, he's going to have to start making his way up front faster than you think so.
Currently runs back in the 20th position near the tail end of this field so far. not much out of the 87 machine, at least not what we're used to seeing out of that machine, as that will be running up front tonight so far. Very calm. Just waiting on that first green flag pit stop, I would imagine, as these guys continue to race crazy up front. Range gets split. Mills to the top side. Range stuck in the sucker hole here in the middle. Mills goes around him. Martinez goes around him. Mills down back in front of him. Actually goes top to bottom. Sheets goes top to middle. Now it leaves Whitehead to leave the top, and all of a sudden, for the first time here in Season 3 of the series, trouble. Around goes Heath Job and David Sheets, and others are around. It's a big wreck here in the tail end of turn number 2. Chris Night-Eye's in it. 222, Brock Westmoreland's in it. And there's Job coming to a stop, and when all is said and done and the smoke clears, that's actually not as big an incident as I thought it was going to be. It started way up close to the front of the field, and somehow we keep it down to about, I believe, 5 or 6 trucks is all that's going to be involved in that one. So we'll go
just
take a look at it. Go ahead. We'll show it for you while Baker analyzes.
Looks like Job on the third on the bottom just kind of comes up about a quarter lane, and Range is down about a quarter lane, and that netcode just happened. It's a right rear netcode there.
Right rear netcode we've been so accustomed to seeing in these races over the last couple of months as the racing has gotten closer. Certainly has been an issue since the update about 6 months ago, and I believe it's another case of it right here. This is after the scramble where Zach Range got split in the middle. David Sheets actually went top to middle. I thought he was going to stay top in front of Ron Morris and Harrison Whitehead, and there you see Job drifts up, probably 1.5 feet, and they come together, do Range and Job. Range actually is going to keep this truck straight. Whitehead bounces off the safer barrier. You're going to see Sheets bounce off the safer barrier. Sean Corbett somehow escapes this one. There's another hyper truck involved. I believe that's Larry McDonald in the 80 that gets involved there. There's Brock Westmoreland, the 13 of Steve Sizemore. After he was almost involved in the last incident, he's involved in this one for sure. Dallas Knox and Chris Night-Eye. Then the 13 slides down. Does he collect the 02 of Richard Elliott? Yes, he does. The 02 gets into the back of him right there, and actually, I believe, clears the path there for Cole Fitzpatrick to get by Logan York. I believe comes to a stop here behind the 13. Just kind of parks it on the apron up against the safer barrier. And does Ryan Bass get involved? Nope. Looks like he and Austin Green get through okay. I'll try to take one more look at this one here. As you're right, good call. It's right rear netcode, and it's the slightest movement there from Job that, and Range, honestly, they both kind of move together. They're actually hooked together right there. You can kind of see, boy, it almost looks like they come together once, then they come together again, and then that leads to the incident here in turn number 2. So Sheets not able to keep it corralled. You see Corbett. Elliott's actually going to give a shot there to McDonald. There's Westmoreland. Matthew Patton slides on by on the inside. I think he makes it through this. Carruthers makes it through. Looks like Hanneman makes it through. Night-Eye just not as lucky. He's going to get collected here. John Darnell, I believe, is going to get through it as well. But caution number 3 on the racetrack here, almost to halfway. Another round of pit stops. Eliminate another green flag pit stop. Now we're getting into the range where you're really close to a one stop. I've seen guys stretch it before, but in a case like this, Baker, can they make it to a one-stop race, or are we still looking at 2 here?
You're looking at probably 16, 17 at best if you're riding online, so it's very, very close on fuel. Maybe even 15 to 16 laps. I think maybe they can stretch it, but I wouldn't risk it if I were these leaders. I'd try and come in quick, get a tank of fuel, and get back out there.
Well, absolutely. That's what most guys have done here. Let's see if anybody comes back down a second time here to make it a one-stop race. It's awfully close. And so we will see what these guys elect to do. Justin Mills, Christian Martinez, running an excellent race so far. Mills especially, he's been up front since the get-go. Since the drop of the green flag, he's been Dyson, making moves, wanting to lead, wanting to be out front, setting the tone for his season. Dustin Carruthers has recovered all the way to 5th. There's Austin Green. You said he had to do something. Well, he runs in the 6th position now all of a sudden. 5 laps short of halfway. Austin Green looking to get the job done. He raced in the championship race a season ago, was unable to win the championship. Got in by virtue of a podium finish in the final race of the regular season. As we see guys split off. So it's a split strategy. Tyler Vickery, Matthew Patton, Ryan Baste, Trevor Osranoth, and everybody on back from them is going to come to pit road a second time to top off their gas tanks and make this at least closer to a one-stop race. These guys here up front have to split it into about two 15-lap runs. It'll actually be about two 14-lap runs once we get back under the green flag on lap number 22. Justin Mills, Christian Martinez on row 1, Sean Corbett and Ron Morris on row 2. There's Carruthers and Green on row 3. Raymond Hanneman and Cole Fitzpatrick on row 4, and the last two trucks not to pit a second time. Mark Vondell in 9th and Zach Range in the 10th position. And to me, the only surprise really for me up at the front, Raymond Hanneman, it's his first start tonight in the Little Guys Series. He certainly had a good run there in 7th. And Christian Martinez in the 27 runs in the 2nd position. And I'm double checking before I say he's running with the team because I don't believe he is. And if that's the case, what a run for the solo driver of the 27 tonight. I know he was fired up, but he's got teammates all around him here. But to be doing it as a solo driver, and especially in a race like this where you could basically just get your work done now and advance to that championship race, it's got to feel good for the driver of the 27.
Yeah, it definitely does. Another person I look for, took a couple months off, Jack Hignite. Very, very good racer. Raced earlier in the year last year in the PGR races. Saw him in a couple other races, and he had a couple friends. Don't see him out here today, but I see that he's in the Hyper Motorsports Discord, so he gets hooked up with those guys. Look for him to take it 3 wide.
Jack Hignite, the 07, certainly a force to be reckoned with on these super speedways. Can get the job done. We'll see if he can do it here tonight. We're getting ready to go back under the green flag for one more restart here. Lap 22 will be on the board, and that means 29 laps remain here from Talladega. We know at least one pit stop remains, and it will be probably one for most of the guys running here at the front of the field. We know everybody from Ryan based on back, it's for sure going to be a one stop now. If they can stretch that tank out riding in line for the guys up front, might be a little bit closer than that. Justin Mills and Christian Martinez bring the field back into the restart zone for another go at this restart. 29 laps left in the first race here of the Little Guys Series. And away we go. Green flag is back in the air. Back up through the gears one more time. Justin Mills and Christian Martinez. Sean Corbett had an excellent restart on the bottom. Ron Morris tries to get to him. Oh, couple trucks going 3 wide already. This is going to be a scramble here into 1. Here comes Cole Fitzpatrick.
Well, it took about one turn for me to figure out what these trucks are going to do, if they're going to make it on one stop or not. All of them seem like they're going to. Looks like Martinez may have missed a shift there. Morris getting to the back bumper of him now with Austin Green in tow, but this bottom line's really rolling right now. You've got Mills with Corbett and Carruthers there in tow.
Good group on the bottom, all behind Justin Mills. He's liking what he's seeing right now as he goes off into turn 3, still with the lead. Outside line looking to build that run once again. Christian Martinez along with Ron Morris. They've got Austin Green, Cole Fitzpatrick, Zach Range in tow. The outside starting to roll once again. Here comes Martinez. Ron Morris doing a great job of pushing. They might be even with the leader by the time they get back to the line. Can Martinez lead the lap? It's going to be awfully close. He will at the line. How about the run by the 27 all the way back to the lead? He brings Morris and Austin Green with him. Morris, oh, does he split him? Nope, Martinez just gets clear of the 4 of Justin Mills. Jumps down across. That leaves Morris, Green, Fitzpatrick, and Range to lead the top as they hit the super stretch.
You knew that Morris was going to get him up there once he started to get to his back bumper. One off to the apron there. Looks like one of the Hyper Motorsports drivers, but they keep it clean. Gets back up into traffic, but side by side into turn 3 here. Look for Austin to give a big push here to Ron Morris, one of his teammates.
McCullough Motorsports teammates tonight up in the outside line, Green and Morris. Now Martinez smartly jumping up here in front of that outside line. Gives Justin Mills a second to cool off. Will carry the momentum of the outside. Up off turn number 4 and into the tri-oval one more time. Martinez continuing to lead the way here at the Talladega Super Speedway. 27 laps remain. And we know we're closing in on that pit stop. These guys have to know it. It's in the back of all of their heads. But right now, they are not racing like they still have to make a pit stop. At least not in my opinion. They're racing like there's not too much left in this race. Fitzpatrick and Range take another crack at the outside. Off onto the backstretch and now headed back for 3. Can they make it work? They got help coming behind them. Here comes the cavalry. Where does Heath Job go here into 3?
Yeah, it looks like he may go to that 3rd lane as well. I wasn't expecting the 3 wide so quickly. Maybe some people saving some fuel, but you know Range wants to go to the front. We talked about it before. He's going to give a great push to Cole Fitzpatrick. What does Ron Morris do when he gets the back bumper? I think he's going to stay in line.
I believe so, too. He's going to stay parked on the back bumper of Christian Martinez. The third line's run starts to fade. Martinez continues to lead the way. Now Fitzpatrick, another surge up on the outside with Zach Range. The problem is they've lost their help. Heath Job has dropped off the back of this line. They're still able to get even with the leaders, but I think that's as far as they will get, and their run will start to fade. But here comes Job one more time. Now into turn number 2. You know Justin Mills is loving this. These two lines killing each other's momentum, allowing Mills to continue to lead laps almost uncontested here. Onto the super stretch. Now all of a sudden the third line's got some help. Where do they go from here? They've got a cavalry all of a sudden.
And just as the cavalry builds up, it dives back down into the second lane. Only 2 cars left up top there. You see Austin Green bailing out. He's going to go try and save some fuel there. I think he knows he's going to have to save just a little bit. Ron Morris clear of that third lane. Does he take it? I think he does. He doesn't have Austin Green behind him, but you see Zach Range ducked down. No one else in that third line beside Cole Fitzpatrick. He gets in line. Now we're back to 2 wide.
Wow, so as soon as it develops, it fizzles. Here on lap 25, it's going to be halfway home, this time by at the line. Martinez leads another lap, and right as I thought the cavalry was there, Austin Green had jumped up to the outside with Mark Vondel, and they both bailed at the end of this lead draft. And another interesting move. I thought for sure once Austin got the track position, he was going to hang out right about 4th or 5th or 6th there, 3rd on the outside line, or maybe even go to the 3rd line, try to get something working, but it fizzles. He decides better of it, jumps to the back of the lead draft, and I got to think it's because he knows that pit stop is coming here very soon, and he knows that getting onto pit road with a field that has not yet made a green flag pit stop in a race like this, it's going to be a little bit hectic the first time, and as we get closer to that window, I got to imagine he's just trying to give himself enough room and some margin for error.
Oh, I can't believe this. Is Mark Vondel taking it to the 3rd lane? He looks like he's trying to with Logan York. If Range could get clear, they could have some momentum going, but he's not. Vondel's going to drop back, probably back into that 2nd line. It's just really... I mean, this little guy series is bringing out the best in some of the people you don't usually see up front in these bigger races. I'm glad to see Vondel trying to get that 3rd lane rolling.
Yeah, I was just going to mention Vondel and York trying to get that line to work. They know now that not really anybody's going to go with them, at least not right now. I would not expect that to remain the same, especially for a guy like Zach Range. I don't buy that Zach Range is going to go the rest of the race without testing that 3rd lane. And now Austin Green tests it once again in the 87. He's got Dallas Knox with him, the 99, but as soon as they go up there, they jump right back in line, just fade the momentum and jump right back in. But now Austin feeling a little bit racy, almost trouble. How in the world did Ron Morris save it? Now we're going to stack up. Range jumps to the 3rd line, has to bail out from wrecking Cole Fitzpatrick. Everybody keeps it going somehow. Ron Morris, heck of a save running at the front of the field.
Great save up front. Great awareness of the trucks behind him to get checked up. One off in the back. Gets a little sideways, gathers it back up. But he's still 2 by 2 here. Austin Green should be trying to sit back and save fuel. I don't know what he's trying to do in the 3rd lane. Maybe he's just fooling around, knows he's got the pit stop to get to. But you're going to see the pit stops here in about 8 laps.
Well, Christian Martinez at the head of the field here. Ron Morris still also at the head of the field. He's got Heath Job behind him. Justin Mills still working away at that bottom line, trying to push away at Christian Martinez. Sean Corbett as well, still down there on the bottom of the racetrack. And as we get closer to this pit stop, it feels like the racing has gotten more and more intense. And I don't know if that's a smart idea at this point in the race. I don't know. We still got a pit stop to get to, like you said, and we've seen in the past, in the championship race, actually, we went single file the entire first fuel run before that pit stop. We never went 2 wide, so a bit of a different strategy, and as we get close to that window, it's going to open here in about, probably 5, 6, 7 laps, somewhere in that window. These guys are going to be able to start pitting, coming to pit road, and making their final stops of the evening. Martinez back up in front of Morris. I'll tell you what, Christian Martinez looks so seasoned, jumping between lanes, figuring out the momentum, and taking the runs where they come and allowing guys to cool off and managing lanes. He looks so good out front of the field right now. He's got to be feeling good as well in the 27.
Absolutely. Vondel's going to battle out to that 3rd line. You saw Mills there blink out for about half a lap. I'm glad everyone was able to keep the spacing. They knew he was going to come back at some point. Kept it together. But yeah, like you said, Martinez doing a really good job controlling the lines. I don't know if it's by design or if it's just people not trying to race hard because they know they're trying to get the fuel what they need for these next 6 laps.
Well, absolutely. And as we get closer to that window now, 21 laps to go here at Talladega as Morris and Martinez continue to lead the way. They've been just working away at it here for about the last 10 laps. They've been up front since we went back under the green flag. These two have led the field for most of the run. The shuffling has been behind them, and still now as it's 2 by 2, it's pretty much gridlocked And this is what I have noticed, and I don't know if this was a change over the past couple of weeks or what, but the two lines, not as much here. Oh, trouble! Martinez gets turned. How did he keep that truck straight? Somehow he keeps it going, and in fact, I think he's going to be able to keep the draft here if he tags onto one of these trucks further back. Brock Westmoreland goes a lap down. Martinez, heck of a save there from the lead.
I mean, what a save there. Turned off the bumpers. You see splitting 3 wide there. Stuck in the middle of Hyper Motorsports. Cole Fitzpatrick to the outside with Zach Range and Logan York in tow. It looks like these 3 are working together.
Yeah, it really does. And onto the super stretch, Fitzpatrick and Range able to get clear. York still stuck. Now Fitzpatrick and Range will lead the line. Range going to go to work here on the back of Cole Fitzpatrick. They are ready to go. They're trying to get some track position going into this pit stop. And we'll see if they can get the job done. Now it's only 2. Now they're starting to single out. You know, pit stops are starting to get close. But here's the problem: they are not yet to the window. I mean, they're not even close to it yet. They got to go another 4 or 5 laps before they can even think about pitting. But everybody's starting to single out on the bottom along that yellow line. Tells me either A, they're saving fuel trying to get to that window, or B, they're going to have to pit more than once here on the last run of the race.
Yeah, a lot of people single filing out. It's indicative that the fuel stop is going to happen any time now. I think maybe you're going to see a couple come that are going to be short. I think Ron Morris is going to be one of those. Another one, Cole Fitzpatrick, Justin Mills. He may have rode in line and saved, but Dustin Carruthers, Ryan Baste, Austin Green, Logan York, even with that 3-0 move, I still think that they are going to try and run it as long as they can and try and make it that one stop.
It's going to be awfully close. About 4 laps short of the window, we assume, here with a 50% fuel load. And we're 19 laps to go. Off turn number 4. We'll see if we have any takers this time by on the early round. No, we don't. So they're going to at least make it to 18 laps to go. The absolute closest I would even consider pitting here to try to make it on one stop would be, I would say, 16 laps to go. And the way this field is running, it tells me they're having to save just a little bit to make that number. Is, you know, a couple of guys that aren't having to save, Vondell and Green, they have made their way to the outside, and they are working now. Ron Morris, how about that smart move? He jumps up, takes the run in front of Cole Fitzpatrick. Here come Vondell, Green, York, and Christian Martinez, who kept the draft. Fitzpatrick now to second. Range hung out with Vondell as Austin Green tries to get to the back of them with the help of Martinez. Off into 3, 18 laps to go.
Green's going to try and see what kind of run he can pull out of line, go back 3 wide, pull to the back. Martinez, though, going to try and get to Vondell. Vondell to the back bumper of Zach Range, giving him a good push. They're coming up on a lap car here, though. They should be able to sort it out, though, with everyone single file here.
Yeah, for the most part, single file, 2 wide. Now, a very wide part of the racetrack. They're actually going to catch this lap truck on here at the tail end of the trial. We'll head into turn number 1. 17 to go. They'll be 3 wide for a moment. Back to 2. And that is the Galati machine going a lap down, I believe, right there. And it is the 12 of Joey Galati going at least 1 lap down, and maybe 2 laps down, actually, for the 12. Range and Vondell, they are doing some work up on the outside lane of the racetrack. Range pokes the nose out front to the race lead here for a moment. He gets clear and hangs Vondell out in the second lane. Range got exactly what he wanted, and that is back to the race lead. Now Martinez will try to help Vondell as everybody is singled out along the yellow line.
Martinez back over. Shot one there. Looks like this time or next time. A lot of chatter there on the radio.
Off turn number 4, no takers. Martinez gets in line. Actually, 1 taker, Dallas Knox, and an unfortunate break for him. He's going to pit all by his lonesome here. A tough break for him, but nonetheless, he's going to still have a shot at it. He's going to need some help. We have a couple coming off pit road now. Chris Nidai and Steve Sizemore off cycle just a little bit. As here we go, 16 laps to go. There's Zach Range, the leader. He is all over the microphone. You know they're getting ready to pit. I do believe you get a look at his in-car camera. He is working the wheel, the Formula wheel, which I noted earlier. Very odd look for the ovals, but hey, whatever works here for Zach Range. He's certainly been able to wheel it so far. He is all over the comms right now. I believe we're about to see some pit stops out of the race leader and potentially some guys running behind him.
All right, so this time, next time, it's going to have to be. But look for probably the pit stops coming up from most of the field here.
Here we go. They're going to try to replicate Thursdays. That's a lot of trucks coming to pit road. Range, Mills, Fitzpatrick, York, Martinez, Corbett, Richard Elliott, Heath. Job trouble. Around goes 1. It's Job. He's off in the grass. He's going to have to bring it back onto pit road. Unfortunately, it's going to lose him a lot of valuable time. Matthew Patton, John Darnell, Mark Vondell, and now a caution flag is out on the racetrack. An ill-timed caution flag for the guys who just stayed out. I'm not sure.
And it happened with the guys that were up front.
So he missed it on the pit stop. We'll see if we can find it here. And yeah, so as we came through literally right after these guys had come off the racetrack, well, I'm not seeing anything up front. Was it thrown for Heath Job, perhaps?
Looks like Ryan Bass gets into the back of the 85. Coming up on Dustin Carruthers.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Morris.
Good call. I just didn't let it play out long enough as this happened right here at the front of the field. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. As down to the start-finish line, Hanneman and Bass nose to tail behind Carruthers and Morris. They're just trying to pound out some good lap times as we wait for the round of pit stops. And I think they caught Carruthers a little bit faster than maybe they anticipated. And as Hanneman goes to get out of the gas, Bass is pushing through him and gets in the back of him and slides him sideways. Yeah, I believe that's exactly what happened. I think they just caught Dustin Carruthers at a really bad point of the racetrack and going way too fast to be able to maneuver either around him or jump in behind him, which is obviously what Hanneman wants to do there. We'll take another look here. You see Carruthers and Morris are separated. Hanneman and Carruthers were separated, but Bass and Hanneman were never separated. They were together when that group came to pit road, and I think that's exactly what happened. Bass kind of moves him a little bit, gets off center, and moves him down below the yellow, and then as he tries to come back up, he gets across the nose of Bass, and around goes the 85 of Raymond Hanneman, and I don't think he gets hit here. I think he escapes any damage. Lucky for him, half the field had just come to pit road. And so he's able to just innocently slide to the apron and get this truck back rolling. So, to me, just appears as if they were catching him considerably faster than perhaps they could do anything with. Because obviously right there, you don't want to go around him. You're just going to kill your momentum. They try to stay behind Carruthers, and unfortunately it leads to an accident right here at the start-finish line.
Yeah, unfortunate. Just looks like a stack up there trying to get the push to get them to start flying around to maybe beat this first pack that had pit, but a little confusion here with pit road. Looks like a couple of cars are going to have to go around the pace car, but that second pack is going to be able to now either take advantage and take the lead here by a large margin, because I think they thought the second pack thought they were supposed to be behind the pace cars, so a lot of people are about to gain a ton of track position.
Notably, Ron Morris still remains out behind the pace truck here. Dustin Carruthers as well, as they will. Well, now Carruthers goes on by, so he's going to pass at the pace car, probably shutting that truck off on the apron, trying to save a little bit of gas. A couple guys with driver cameras up here. Tyler Hickory. I haven't talked much about him tonight. He currently runs now up in the second position. He's in a great spot right now on the 124 off this pit stop as they complete their last round of service. We'll see who else is up here. We got Trevor Osrenoth for KSR. So he runs in the fourth position in the 89 machine. See who else we got here with a driver cams near the front. Well, Raymond Hanneman, I think, is going to have to go backwards, perhaps, maybe not. He actually may have gotten really lucky with the timing of this caution and then the confusion that happens with the pace car. He now is going to be scored in sixth currently, so a lucky break for him as he's able to maintain his track position for the most part. And you have Sean Corbett. There you see him. He's running just inside the top 10. Let's see who else we got here. We already focused on Zach Range and John Darnell. He runs back here in the 23rd position. He's lapping back around. I believe he just got his pit service complete. So he will try to work back up here to the front of the field as well. So a late race restart is coming. We know the pit stops are now done and over with. Everybody now, we assume, can make it on fuel inside of 13 laps to go. To be 11 laps to go when we get back under the green flag. So now the strategy switches a little bit. And if you're a guy like Carruthers, Bass, or Osrenoth, you know you got your teammates up here. If you're a guy like Tyler Hickory, perhaps, or I'm looking further down, looks like Christian Martinez, Matthew Patton's running with Hyper tonight, Dallas Knox, solo. What do you do on these late race restarts? You don't have a teammate. If you're Tyler Hickory here, what's the strategy on the restart? You know you got teammates all around you right here.
Well, you know, if you're starting on the high lane, you know, you're in a lot better position than being on the bottom. But if you're about that third car on the bottom and you don't have any teammates, just stay committed to that bottom and the bottom's going to open up. A lot of people are going to start shuffling trucks to try and get their teammates forward. So being a solo car has its advantages for sure. Definitely disadvantages, but it has a lot of advantages on late race restarts.
That's exactly what we're going to have fitting after this series has had so many late race restarts in the past over the past 2 seasons that the first 50-lap regular season race would also have a semi-late race restart here, an 11-lap sprint to determine the 3 drivers who will be advancing into our championship race at the end of the season. Dustin Carruthers, Tyler Vickery on the front row. Carruthers has a teammate behind him and a teammate behind Vickery as well, as 3 of the KSR trucks run inside the top 4 here late in the going. Austin Green has found himself in an excellent position as well in 5th, as well as Raymond Hanneman in the 85. What a story it would be for him or Tyler Vickery tonight, as I believe solo trucks to go and get the job done. And actually, Hanneman is running with I believe John Darnell and Harrison Whitehead. So he is on a team tonight. So Hanneman, he doesn't have any teammates close to the front right now, but they certainly will be working their way forward here on this late race restart. But certainly some good stories at the front. So we get ready to go back under the green flag. Pace truck is down. A little bit of an incident further back, and they're stacking up. Now they're wrecking under the caution, and this may delay our green flag. I believe that's Brock Westmoreland, Richard Elliott, and Harrison Whitehead that were involved in that one. Let's see if we still go green. I don't think we will. So we get into the restart zone. Yeah, these guys are backing off of each other, so we're going to go one more as they stack up back in the field. And not sure what happened there, but the pace truck will pick these guys up and go one more time around. So it'll be a 10-lap sprint to the end of this race. So a 10-lap sprint now, and all right, Baker, you've had about 30 laps to watch these guys kind of get settled in and make moves. Who are some drivers to watch here on this late race restart?
I feel bad for Ron Morris. He had to get sent to the back there for some scoring issues, so that's a bummer. But look for him to probably come back to the front very quickly. I'm looking for Austin Green to try and get a spot up towards the top side. But up front, really, it's a lot of trucks that haven't been up front. Carruthers has been running about third line on the bottom the entire race. Everyone else up here hasn't been towards the front controlling the lines. But you see a bunch of KSR teammates, like you noted before, around this 124. So look for him to try and quasi-work with these guys, try and keep his spot up, and get a good finish out of it in the Full Sail University 124.
Well, he would certainly love to get a good run here tonight to kick off his Little Guy Series career, and what a story it would be for the 124. He's not gotten the greatest drawing on the outside, certainly helps that driver, but he's got KSR surrounding him here. He's got Austin Green lurking here outside the top 3. Zach Range is outside the top 3. Justin Mills has run a great race, as has Sean Corbett, as has Logan York. He's been towards the front a couple times now, finds himself in a decent spot here. He can shuffle up to the top, try to get forward. A lot of hungry trucks here behind the leaders. 3 spots make it to the championship race. And as we run right now, a majority of the 29 truck field is still on the lead lap and eligible for these final 3 spots. So off turn 4, it'll be 10 laps to the end of this one as the pace truck dives down. I want to thank everybody for watching once again. What an audience we have. It's 12:30 here on the East Coast on Tuesday morning, so not even the Monday Night Little Guys series anymore, the Tuesday morning Little Guys series now. So we reach into the 12:30 hour here as Carruthers and Vickery bring him back into the restart zone, and we will get him going one more time. Base the back of his teammate. Green flag back in the air, and KSR is off and rolling on the bottom. Austin Green as well, an excellent start in the bottom, is rolling in a big way down towards turn 1. Up through the gears they go. Carruthers leads the field.
Huge checkup on the bottom side. 3 trucks are going to get separated off pretty quickly, all lead cars. But you see Carruthers trying to move up. Vickery doesn't want to give him the push, but he's going to have to because his teammate Osmernoth is right behind him, and he would have tucked right in and left him out to dry. So you're going to see a big push on this outside line from Vickery to Dustin Carruthers. Ryan Base getting a good push from Austin Green. Look for that bottom to start rolling if Zach Range can get to the back bumper, but you see Carruthers pull back down.
Carruthers smartly down in front of his teammate Ryan Base. They're all over the communications right now, giving each other call-outs back and forth. Here comes Vickery. Now the push comes to the outside. Oswernoth all over the back of the 124. He's going to shove him even with the race leader in the 10. Out of the tri-oval. Vickery, can he get to the race lead? It'll be 9 laps to go and we hit the line. Who's going to make the first antsy move? Who will be the first to test that third lane? I would have said Zach Range, but he's trapped on the bottom. Perhaps Mark Vondel, perhaps Christian Martinez. We'll see who can get up and be able to get that line to work. As we come off turn number 2 again, here comes the top, but now it starts to fade. Carruthers able to pull right back ahead with Based all over the back bumper.
The top side starting to surge. Osnorth getting to the back bumper. You see range off by about half a car length on Austin here. Really on the bottom, there's a lot of people hitting the apron. That's what gave that top side the run, but the bottom's starting to get formed back up. A lot of very good trucks stuck to that bottom side right now. I would look for the move from Martinez and probably Cole Fitzpatrick back there to make that first move to that high side.
I was thinking the same thing. It's a little bit early still for those trucks, although they are a ways back, 6th and 7th on the outside line, so they'll have to get it going. They are biding their time for now, though. Hickory, Carruthers continue to be dead even side by side. 8 laps to go here at Talladega. We do have 3 green-white checkered attempts should we need them, but right now, this guy's able to keep it mostly tidy, trying to get to the end of this race. Tyler Hickory still holding his own. Here is the solo truck up on the outside line. He will poke the nose out front here for the first time tonight. He goes to the lead with the help of Trevor Osbornoff. How long do the trucks running 6th on back wait? Raymond Hanneman. How long does Justin Mills wait as well? 4th in line on the outside. Fitzpatrick took a look, nothing doing. Now Darnell tries to split him, a shuffle further back. Alas up front. Darnell able to get that rolling. Base jumps to the outside of his teammate. Gets a nice push from Tyler Hickory, able to keep that truck in tow. Now Base will go to the race lead. Into the tri-oval now. It's KSR 1-2 leading both lines here at Talladega.
You're starting to see the gap start to close up here on the top and bottom lines. Everyone's starting to push for what they're worth. Green knows this is his opportunity to split up the teammates if he can push himself clear there on the bottom lane, but look for Dustin to probably take it up. You see, oh man, Mark Vondel gets pushed out of line by Martinez. He's going to get back in and try and get the run on that 3rd lane.
Nobody up there yet. Darnell and a couple others up there further back, but up front still 2x2, 5 rows deep, make it 6 rows deep as Fitzpatrick joins the party here at the front of the field. Based and Carruthers continue to lead the teammates here on the front row of this race. Austin Green trying for everything he is worth to get himself clear. You know he's going to take it. He gets it here off turn number 4. Austin Green, for the first time tonight, will go to the race lead. He puts his nose in clean air and now is on the front of Ryan Based. The first to split up the KSR teammates. How about the 87? The Green Ghost leads at Talladega at the line. 6 laps to go.
2x2. Austin Green leads at the stripe that time. He's going to pull down to the bottom. KSR teammates in tow behind. He's getting a big push from Dustin Carruthers. He's going to try and clear himself up to Ryan Base, but it won't happen. Hickory giving a good push to Ryan Base. Ryan Base going to get that run back on the outside. Does Austin Green take it? He doesn't, but you know that bottom's going to roll yet again. Hickory's going to get hot. He's been pushing this whole time. This bottom's going to roll.
It is going to roll, and now Austin Green has to think about what happens if Carruthers is able to get clear. He's a half a truck from making it happen. Right here he might. Austin Green knows he's going to have to probably go back up. Not in time. Carruthers in front of his team at a bad push. They get shuffled up. Somehow they get it all back together, and Carruthers is able to park on the nose of his teammate. How did they keep that going? Now the lead pusher on the bottom is Zach Range in the 043. He's shuffled his way forward slowly but surely, and now he's the lead pusher. Top side, couple trucks further back. One of the hyper trucks was in that group. Now the top side starts to open up. Justin Mills and Raymond Hanneman, Ron Morris, Larry McDonald. Now they start to fade back in line. 5 to go as they hit the super stretch. Carruthers Base trying to make it work. It's all Austin Green onto the super stretch one more time.
As you see, Mills gets a brake cut to him. Vondel had to get on the binders there to let him back in line. Vondel going to get to the back bumper. Justin Mills, I think maybe they're going to go up to that 3rd lane whenever they get the chance, but that 3rd lane just has nothing going for him right now. A lot of good trucks, 2x2 up front. Austin Green getting a good push from Zach Range, and teammates lined up top.
Carruthers Base still lined up. They got a teammate 2 trucks back of them as well, and Osbornoff, who I don't think is going to move right here from that 4th spot in line. We'll see if he gets antsy. Carruthers goes to the lead. He will clear down in front of Austin Green, slowly drops back down across the nose trouble. Mark Vondel is upside down. A big crash further back as Ron Morris slides to the inside. The 13 of Sizemore slides to the inside and halt everything. We are going to have a late race caution here at Talladega right as we got to the 4 laps to go mark. I believe that will send us into overtime. We'll see what happened on our 5th caution of the night. And this one started with Mark Vondel in the 59 as I believe he got some contact from behind and into the tri-oval here. He's running outside of Cole Fitzpatrick and into the tri-oval. Oh, Fitzpatrick washes way up the racetrack. I don't know if he thought he was clear, but he gets into the right or left rear of Mark Vondel. He collects Matthew Patton and Martinez, man, nowhere to go. And this is a big hit for Vondel. He ends up and over the 27. And Ron Morris spins further up. Chris Nidey spins. Fitzpatrick spins. Oh, I think the Hyper Trucks are both going to get in this one. Yep, McDonald and Matthew Patton. There's Steve Sizemore in the 13. And Hanneman gets collected there again by Dallas Knox. On the left side of your screen, they're going to collect Sizemore a second time. Thomas Parker just diving out of the way. And that is a tough break for Mark Vondel as he gets turned pretty much right in front of the oncoming third lane with Martinez and Hanneman. And this is a whale of a hit right here for Vondel. He is all the way up and over. And Martinez, huge damage to his truck. Darnell is involved in 99. And a couple of others. There you see Vondel come back onto his wheels. And slides down to the apron. But Cole Fitzpatrick washes way up the racetrack, and not sure what he saw right there, but he certainly wasn't clear, and it results in a very, very large incident. Mark Vondel and Christian Martinez getting the worst of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just unfortunate for the other trucks behind, too. Nowhere for them to go. Larry McDonald's going to be out of this race. Brock Westmoreland going to be out of this race. Christian Martinez likely done. Mark Vondel likely done. I mean, he got absolutely destroyed in that race.
That's a tough break for Vondel, who was running extremely well so far in this race, as well as Martinez. Both had run well at times in this race. Martinez led a considerable amount of that middle stretch of the race, was making the right moves, and unfortunately right there gets caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it will probably bring his night to an end. Severe damage to the front end of that truck as well as Vondel's. And so we will get set up here for overtime attempt number 1. We have 3 available to us. Carruthers based lead the field. Austin Green, Tyler Vickery, Zach Range round out the top 5. It's Oswernoth, Corbett, Elliott, Mills, and York, the remainder of the top 10. And as we reset, the teammates are almost now in a better spot than I think they were on the last restart. Now they lead both lanes. They're able to really work together here. Whoever can clear who, try to freshen temps and just work these lanes for the last 2 laps. And not only that, they have a teammate running 2 trucks back, and Trevor Oswernoth that really is going to control this outside lane once we get back going.
Yeah, but you know that this is going to be a green-white checkerboard. Austin Green's not going to list. He's going to be pushing the back bumper. It's going to make Dustin make that decision if he needs to go high or not. I think his best decision is to just stay in line. That reason being is Oswernoth is tucked behind Vickery, and Vickery's going to have to push base here. There's no way he doesn't. You got to stay tucked to the bottom, and if you see Austin about to get clear, that's the only time you take it to the top side, and the only time, because you know if you take it to the top side and Zach Range is hooked up with Austin Green, they're probably going to win that race to the line.
Well, absolutely. It's important to note there is Zach Range, third on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll restart 5th here with 2 laps to go, and he and Dustin Carruthers are probably going to determine a lot of this race. The decision from Carruthers here, if he gets clear in turns 1 and 2, will be crucial as to whether or not those KSR trucks are able to lock away this race. If he stays patient and stays down and Austin Green's able to clear that line, you know he's not going to stay low right here. And he'll try to go for it himself. Further back, Justin Mills. Look for him to make something happen here. Richard Elliott, Ron Morris, Sean Corbett. Guys that are not going to stay behind here for very long. The third line will get rolling. It's just a question of, will it have any momentum? They went last time. In fact, Martinez was one of the ones that tried to get out there with Raymond Hanneman, and it just did not work. I'm not sure. It was just because of the hard pushing up front that just did not allow that line to move anywhere forward. And so now as we get ready to restart, you know the pushing's going to be harder on the third lane, but do they have the time to get that momentum going?
Absolutely. I'm laughing to myself because at the start-finish line, there's still a bumper sitting on my screen. Track crew didn't clean up, but nonetheless, we're still going to get back rolling. It's not in the racing surface, so it's not in any harm's way, but it's down there on the apron by the start-finish line.
The toils of Talladega Superspeedway, the carnage that is left behind, and apparently tonight they've left behind a bumper, which, I mean, hey, probably won't be the last one sitting down there by the start-finish line, but we'll see as we get ready to go back green here for overtime attempt number 1. And what a night it has been so far. Looking at the chat one more time before we get back under the green flag for potentially our final restart of the night. John Mullahan's money is on Dustin Cold Hard Cash Carruthers. I've never heard that name, and I think I'm going to continue to use it. as as he's coined that one in the chat for us. Lisa Darnell is still rooting on John Darnell. He's still running well. He's still got an opportunity at this one. He's got to make something happen here on this restart. And some others as well. One rooting for Austin Green. And Austin Green, he has a real opportunity right here to do what he could not do till our last regular season race of the season last season, and that's lock in early. And here we go. Green flag. Overtime attempt number 1. They're back on the gas. They're up through the gears. The bottom gets rolling, and that is huge. Can Austin Green get himself clear? Now the top starts to come back. Off into 1. Up through the gears they go.
See a good push from Austin Green. A little bit even there on the top side. Now you're going to see the side draft from Ryan Bass. It's not going to get Austin Green clear. It's going to get him close. Look for Dustin to maybe jump up. He's got to make a decision here. You're going to see that side draft come. Ryan Bass going to lead. Great decision by Dustin Carruthers. I think he's in one of the best spots he's been all night. Being there on the bottom side, he's going to get a big push from Austin. Hickory's going to run out of temps here quick, and this bottom side is really going to roll into 3. We're going to see what Austin Green can do with it.
Based and Carruthers still side by side. It's 3 rows deep, make it 4 rows deep. A breakaway here back to Logan York in 9th. Carruthers now a huge roll. There's the bottom. Does he jump to the help of his teammate? No, he stays down. Based, Carruthers still continue to run even. They're all over the place, wobbling back and forth. Into the tri-oval. Here they come. Justin Mills the first to try the third line. Carruthers leads by a truck length. White flag at Talladega.
White flag is at Dustin Carruthers leads there. Who's going to lead at the checkered? Austin Green, huge push. He's clear to that third lane. Dustin Carruthers going to block. He's still going to block. He's, pushed. Oh, my goodness. Offset. Oh, Zach Range gets pushed up to the wall. They all wreck Dustin Carruthers. He's way out in front, though. They're side by side down the back. Look for Osmond to get to the back of Dustin here. They're split by 3 wide. Logan York on the apron. He's getting back up. Osnarf giving a huge shove to Dustin Carruthers. What's he going to do with this run? Justin Mills got to run on the outside. Will Osnarf jump to the outside, leave his teammate? I don't think he will. No help behind. Out of turn 4.
Yep, here they come. It's the KSR boys as they all get dicey behind them. Now I think the race is for third. Carruthers and Osbornoff continue to lead into the trial for the final time. The battle's on for the third spot. It's Mills. It's York. Who's going to get the job done for third? At the line, Carruthers wins race 1. Mills is in the championship race along with Trevor Osbornoff. They pile it up after the start-finish line. Dustin Carruthers and his teammate Trevor Osbornoff. You see him there. The celebration begins for the KSR crew. As once again, Dustin Carruthers, I believe this is his 5th win in a Little Guys Series race. He locks himself in early. And to boot, he gets his teammate in as well. A perfectly executed restart and a perfectly executed race from Dustin Carruthers. So he will roll around and wait for his teammates, I imagine, to come and celebrate with him. We'll give him a second to celebrate before we go take a look at the carnage that occurred on the last lap of that race. Ryan Baste collected in that. Tyler Hickory collected. Ron Morris, Austin Green, all collected in that. A lot of trucks involved in that incident at the white flag. And I'll tell you what, I think Fitzpatrick may have just taken away Carruthers' ability to celebrate. But hey, Osbornoff's going to do it for his teammate here. And you see the smile on Trevor Osbornoff. That's a happy KSR bunch right now. 2 of their trucks are in. And he's going to push his teammate here. Try to get him a roll back to the start-finish line. Carruthers wins again. And what a win. It is for him. They're actually... Now they're going to burn it down up against the outside wall. While they do so, we'll get your finishing results for you here before we go look at a replay of what happened on that last lap. Dustin Carruthers comes away with a victory here tonight in the Little Guys Series race number 1. Trevor Osbornoff, a runner-up finish. For the 1-2 for KSR, they lock into the championship race along with Justin Mills, a heroic last lap effort. He locks himself in as well tonight. Logan York finishes 4th. Dallas Knox finishes 5th. Jack Hignite 6th. Raymond Hanneman 7th. Cole Fitzpatrick 8th. Matthew Patton 9th. And Michael Clay rounds out the top 10.
At 11th, you got Richard Elliott, Harrison Whitehead, and 12th, Tyler, and 13th, Zach Range, 14th, Sean Corbett, 15th, Austin Green, bad luck there, and 16th, 17th, Ryan Bass to 18th, Rob Morris Jr., Steve Sizemore 19th, and Chris Nadai in 20th.
John Darnell finishes 21st, Joey Galati in 22nd. Christian Martinez finishes 23rd. Larry McDonald finishes 24th. Mark Vondell finishes tonight 25th. Thomas Parker in 26th. Brock Westmoreland in 27th. Heath Job in 28th. And David Sheets, shotgun on the field tonight in 29th. So we'll go back to the white flag lap. And it all started behind Dustin Carruthers. It's actually going to start as Austin Green takes a look here. For me, I thought he went at a really odd time here going into turn number 1, where I just didn't know if the move was going to work. Going up the banking, you give Carruthers plenty of room to block, but I do understand as soon as he gets clear. I mean, he clears across Ryan Bass' nose. It's not a it's not a slow clear. Carruthers blocks him once. Green goes a lane higher. You see Carruthers, he's going to block one more time. Actually, Green, I think, realizes he's probably going to have to stay in line here. And I think he's going to just get off to the left right there. You see an offset push. Actually, he tries to stay off of Carruthers, but Bass pushes him through the 10. The 10 gets a hold of it, and as the line stacks up after all that happens, Bass gets hit from behind, collects a 0.43 of range, and this turns into a massive wreck. Austin Green, Richard Elliott, John Darnell, Bass, my goodness, up and over into the catch fencing here on the exit of turn number 2. Darnell, you see guys flying on through. Morris, Whitehead, and others. Hanneman as well. Range, he's going to pile in again. Sean Corbett is involved. This is a considerable accident here at the exit of turn number 2. My goodness. We'll take one more look at it before we go get your top 3 for interviews. We'll take one more look at the incident that occurred on the white flag lap that involved Ryan Bass and several others as we went off into turn number 1. And we'll see it in real speed here. You see right here the line stacks up, and as soon as it stacks up, they're all just pushing behind, and it eventually leads to Bass getting hit out of line, and he rides up on top of the safer barrier for a moment there, catches the catch fencing, and sticks in the catch fencing. They actually wreck further up. Wow, I didn't see that before. Whitehead actually gets turned further up. We'll try to get this as well. For Harrison Whitehead. Oh, wow, he gets collected by Ron Morris. Whoa. Some back and forth between Whitehead and Morris, and Whitehead gets turned. I didn't see that the first time. These two come to rest, so it's perhaps some tempers between those two drivers. Something we don't often see on these bigger tracks, but nonetheless, it occurs right there, and that's how we got back to the checkered flag. Stay tuned. Stay with us. We're going to go get your top 3 for interviews. Stay right here, and we'll be right back to talk to your top 3. Back live at Talladega Super Speedway. We've got your third place finisher, Justin Mills, in the 4. Hey, Justin, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
What a run for you tonight. A heroic last lap effort. You're now locked in the championship race. A really good effort from you all around all night. We saw you run up front. Take me through the race. What was it like? A race that's double the length of what we're used to here in the regular season. You guys have to think about pit strategy as well. Take me through it. How'd you get to third place?
Well, like you said, I was up front all night, and Zach Raines decided he wanted to stay behind a pace car there when we were supposed to pass it. We were supposed to cycle back out to the lead, but that didn't work out. I didn't run no worse than 8th all night. So,
well, nonetheless, you come home third, and take me through that last lap. We saw you were out of it there until about the last 100 feet of racetrack. You come home third, and just kind of take me through that last sequence, what you saw in the wreck, and how you got past it, and how you ended up here on the podium and locked in that championship race.
to be honest with you, I don't know how I got past it, but it worked out. Luck was on my side. I'll say that.
Well, certainly it was, and you're locked in the championship race, and I talked about this earlier. You can almost kick your feet up now on the desk and kind of take a few weeks off now that you're not able to race the rest of the regular season. You're locked into that top 15 race. What does this do, for the pressure of a driver here early in the season? You want to set the tone for your season. Now the pressure's off. The weight is off. You can wait till the championship race. What does that do for your mindset as a driver?
Well, I'm certainly glad I got locked in tonight. Last little guy series, it took me to the last race to get locked in. So these races can be kind of a crapshoot. So I'm happy to be able to kick my feet up. That's for sure.
Well, absolutely. You finished third tonight. Well, I've got you up here for a second. Anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
The brand new team, Barely Able Racing, Aubrey Thompson just started it. Give a shout out to him, Richard Elliott, my other teammate, and y'all guys for doing the broadcast, man. Y'all do an awesome job.
Well, we appreciate you talking to us up here. Congratulations on a fantastic run tonight, a third-place finish. You are locked into that championship race, and we will see you then.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all, fellas.
Justin Mills, the man who finished third tonight. Let me get this up here so we can see our second-place finisher here tonight, Trevor Osranath, and we'll get him up here and see what he's got to say. Matthew Baker stands by with the second-place finisher.
Hey, Trevor's Matt Austin, and Dawson up in the booth. Can you hear us?
Oh, of course, brother. What's going on?
Well, I can't be doing better than KSR right now. You get a 1-2 finish. The last 12 laps, you guys really dominated the restarts. Talk to me through what y'all's team strategy was leading those front three spots and what your mindset was once you got stuck behind Tyler there. Were you just going to push that middle line, make sure Ryan got the win or Dustin got the win, or try and get to that third lane?
You are spot on, brother. That was the whole deal there. We were just trying to get it. So the new rule is once you place top three, you can't race any more of the races until the championship. So the goal was to get the top three and then ride it out till the championship race. Fortunately, that didn't work. So Ryan had a little bit of damage. Shout out to Ryan. He held his own up there. And I was just content with pushing the guy behind him till either Dustin or him won that race. But as per usual, how the money races go, baby. Either you're going to make it clean to the end or you're going to wreck somewhere down the line between the start-finish line and the start-finish line again. So that's just what happened there. That's all we really wanted to do was just try to take the top spots, and we 2 out of 3, we'll take it.
Well, absolutely, and it's a good weight off your shoulders for the rest of the season. Don't have to run in any of the rest of the races. Going into the championship, what's your mindset for the championship, and do you attack it like you did this race tonight?
Man, I want to protest that. I really enjoy these little dog races. I really just want to run them more, but like I said, we can't do it. But the goal is hopefully we got Thomas and Ryan that haven't made it in yet. So we're just gonna try to stick with them here, help them out as much as we can from the booth, and spot for them, fuel strategy, however it's gonna work to try to get them these wins, and hopefully we'll be seeing all 4 KSR trucks in the championship race.
Being a great teammate is a great way to finish out the season. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, man, all the guys in the KSR Discord, they're over here in the Dega Pros Discord, but I got to thank all of them in there. They all play a very important role when it comes to strategy, looking out for wrecks, spotting, you name it, top to bottom, where we all work as a team. And we try to make sure each one of us is taken care of. Even if something bad happens, we still take care of each other. We got caught up in a little bit of the first caution on like lap 5 or whenever it happened. And we just made sure everybody kept up, stayed with the draft until they got the stuff fixed, and worked our way to the front. So it's definitely a team effort for KSR. I got to thank everybody. Kenny Stamper is at work. Shout out to you. Hopefully you're watching this right now, brother. Appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for the broadcast. Always a phenomenal broadcast every time. Can't wait to watch it, of course. And sucks because I can't see you next week, but definitely see y'all in the championship race.
Well, congratulations, and we'll definitely be talking to you in the championship race.
Of course. Y'all be safe. Thank you, guys.
Trevor Osmond, our second place finisher tonight, and that leads us to the man of the hour, a man who I have gotten all too used to talking to after wins in this series. He for sure extends his lead in wins in this series now here tonight, and that is the number 10, the KSR entry of Dustin Carruthers. Hey, Dustin, it's the boys in the booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, what's up, Dawson?
Well, I'm getting used to this by now. You've extended your lead for most wins in this series. Tonight, you lock into the championship. You're in the championship race now, and just take me through the race. It was kind of an up and down race for you. We saw you go from the back to the front, the back to the front, and in the end, you and your teammate Trevor are able to get a 1-2 finish. You get the job done. Take me through it.
Yeah, with these longer runs, without the fast repair, we'd like to kind of hang out in the back and kind of let the racing happen up front. And we ended up getting caught up in the back a little bit. Not sure what happened, but we were able to get through it. Everyone got fixed up, but Parker, I think, and just raced around, and somehow I ended up in 5th, and then everything got screwed up with someone's pit, and came back around, and I was in 1st place and didn't look back.
Well, absolutely not. You go home with another victory here tonight. And take me through, what having guys like Trevor up front does for you there. We've seen you guys work so well together. And, as we come to that one of those last restarts, it's you, Trevor, and Ryan based all at the front. Take me through the advantages that gives you guys as a team, knowing you're all up front, knowing you all communicate well, and that you're all able to work together there at the front of the field.
I mean, just knowing you got someone there to work with you, especially when you can lead both lines, if you go up, go down, you're not going to get hung out and, parachute to the back. So, it gives you a big advantage.
Well, it definitely does, and it gives you the victory here tonight. So you're locked in the championship race. It's different this season. That's all we're going to see of you until that championship race. We just heard Trevor talking about he wishes he could run the other weeks, but nonetheless, you guys can kick your feet up now, help your teammates get into that race as well. So, take me through your mindset as you now can kick your feet up, kind of relax a little bit, and start to work towards that championship race.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite series to run, so it's an unfortunate, situation where I got to set out for the next 5 weeks. I guess they're just tired of me winning all these things. I don't know.
Well, you get another victory here tonight. You're in victory lane. So while we've got you up here for a second, anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
First and foremost, Cole Fitzpatrick. I mean, he did an incredible job tonight. The wife, kids, obviously Kenneth Stamper and everybody at KSR. My buddy Trev, he's always there for me. Ryan, he was up there. He was damaged, but, he was giving it all. Parker. Scott. Brian, he sits there and he spots for us all night in Debo. Without those guys, it makes it a lot easier when you got a bunch of support around.
Well, absolutely it does. You get the victory tonight. Congratulations on yet another Little Guys Series victory. You can kick your feet up and relax. Now you're locked in the championship race. We will see you in 5 weeks at that race. Congratulations on a fantastic run. Go enjoy it.
Thank you, Dawson. I'll talk to you one last time, brother.
Dustin Carruthers getting the victory tonight in the 10 machine, and that is all but going to do it here for Little Guys Series Racing from Talladega Race 1. We saw a little bit of everything in that race, and look, Baker, it's your first time up here with me for the Little Guys Series. What did you think of that race? What are your impressions as Dustin Carruthers gets another victory in this series?
Well, I thought I was going to see a different style of racing, but I really saw a lot of the same racing, which, all it means is track position is just what really matters now in these trucks. These guys can compete up front when they're up there, and Dustin Carruthers has really made it a statement that he really owns this series, and it's a bummer that he's not going to be able to race in any more of these races, because I'd love to see him throughout this entire series. But nonetheless, KSR with another great run. Look for those 2 trucks still remaining to get into that playoff spot next week.
An incredible race tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining me. What a race it was again as we kick off another Little Guys season. Dustin Carruthers, Trevor Osmroth, Justin Mills are kicking their feet up and going on a little vacation here for the next 5 weeks as they await the championship race. The first 3 locked into that final race at the end of the season. We lock 3 more in next week, same time, a little after 11 o'clock on the East Coast. We'll get it going right here on the Hickory Racing Network. And this week, go check out. We got a lot of money racing this week. I'll tell you what right now. Tomorrow night, we have some playoff racing for Ron Morris Racing's Tuesday Night Thunder. Ron Morris, you saw on the field tonight. He'll be up in the race control booth tomorrow as the round of 8 race takes to the Speedway tomorrow night. You're not going to want to miss that one. What a playoff field that it is left in that one, including our man here, Matthew Baker. He'll be on the racetrack tomorrow night as myself and Austin Green will have the call for you over on the Ghost Racing Network. And then Thursday night, we are back at the PGR Series for another week of racing this week over on the Ghost Racing Network. If you watched last week's race, you're going to want to watch this week's race. What a race it was last week that we had at Talladega, and you will want to tune in for that one. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for contributing in the chat. Always love to see an active audience here tonight, a big audience as we approach 1 a.m. on the East Coast. Good to see everybody here tonight. Go get some rest. Go get some sleep. We will see you back here next week and over the course of the next week across our Money Racing platforms. Till then, for Matthew Baker, my name is Dawson Wise. You've been watching the